we're gonna be taking this box of Mr. Beast assortment of chocolates and creating a recipe for rich, decadent, double chocolate and triple chocolate babka.
If it walks like a beast and talks like a beast, it should taste like a beast. It's pretty good. Wait, do I have the mystery ticket?
We're starting off by making an eggless and dairy-free brioche. 1, because I'm not eating anything that falls out of anyone's butt. And 2, because I actually feel better when I drink the milk from my nuts. Well, you know what I mean. We're not even a minute in and you're already making this weird. First thing we're gonna do is undress these potatoes with our lavish looks and, I don't know, this undressing device. Peeler was the word I was looking for. Cut them into 1-inch cubes, then thoroughly rinse them. Toss them into cold water over medium heat for about 15 minutes. You can use any potatoes. These are Yukon potatoes, by the way, and I know exactly how you feel if you're just now finding out Yukon isn't just a General Motors sports utility vehicle. After boiling, then draining, go ahead and whip them taters. Measure out 1 1/4 cup or 300 grams, and if you're lucky, you'll have some left over. Go ahead and enjoy that with a little garlic, a little vegan butter while you watch the rest of the video. Set that aside and break out your stand mixer. I call mine's Oreo. Yeah, I know, it's a stripper name. Making sure your potatoes are at room temperature, add them in. 3/4 cup or 170 grams dairy-free milk, a tablespoon vanilla extract, 3/4 cup or 150 grams cane sugar, and 4.5 teaspoons instant yeast. Go ahead and airdrop into the bowl with a paddle attachment. You could do this by hand, but I'm not. Give that a solid minute to mix. Once everything is thoroughly homogenized, we're now going to attempt to make this one bowl by adding in the rest of our ingredients. 3 cups or 360 grams bread flour, 2.5 cups or 325 grams pastry flour, also known as cake flour, 2/3 cup or 56 grams unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 cup or 226 grams softened vegan butter. We're also going to toss a teaspoon of espresso powder in here as well. This way we can just skip the coffee and have this bread slap us awake in the morning. Swap attachments and drop this down like your favorite song just came on, and let the mixer do its dance for about 8 to 10 minutes to bring the ingredients together into a dough. Next, we're going to laminate the dough. Flour your surface and place the dough onto the surface. Pull the dough and stretch it a few times, then shape it into a ball. Place it on a scale and divide the dough into 2 even pieces. If your math is rusty that day, that's okay. That's why you own a phone that is smarter than you. Shape your 2 new pieces of dough into balls. While trying to control your maturity, press those balls into squares. Now carefully swaddle those flat square balls with plastic wrap. Now hold on to your balls and move them to the refrigerator for 8 to 12 hours. I really hope that's not what she said.
If you want babka now, skip the refrigerating process. Let rise and proceed with the next steps. But the laminating and refrigerating process is going to slow the rise, which in turn is going to help develop the flavors in the dough, improve the texture, and make the dough easier to work with.
Babka is all about the filling, and this is where we're going to use that chocolate. Unwrap and rough chop 8 ounces of chocolate. Cut up a 1/2 cup vegan butter and set up what is known as a double boiling station, where technically there's only one thing boiling. Well, Sherlock, now that you have uncovered the lie of double boiling and have no idea what to do with this information, add in your chocolate and your butter into the bowl and proceed to use your spatula to move things around.
Did you catch the steam escaping here? That's because I'm using a saucepan with a spout. Don't do that.
You want a tight seal to properly execute the method. Detach the bowl from the saucepan and add in 3/4 cup 85 grams powdered sugar, 1/4 cup 30 grams unsweetened cocoa powder. Now whisk this together until the chocolate mixture is uniform. Set aside to cool and firm up, as you want more of a buttery texture for spreading purposes rather than a chocolate fondue. So before grabbing the dough, we're going to prep our baking pan. Now, normally I wouldn't talk through this method, but you should go to jail if you went through all this work and you can't get your dough out. Using very near melted vegan butter, brush every crook and cranny. Or is it crook and nanny? Is it crook? Nope. Nook and cranny. Whatever you do, do not brush anyone's grandmother with butter. If you do, tell them you had to do it to get bingo. They should understand that. I also like to lay down some parchment for extra easy removal. Retrieve your dough and unwrap one to work with at a time. Flour your surface and roll out your dough to 15 by 18 inches. The length of your dough and the tightness of your roll is going to give you all of the layers. Using only half of the chocolate mixture, spread this evenly across the dough, leaving a 1/2 inch border. From the 15-inch end, which is the short end, roll the dough tight and snug, gripping it like your baby blanket that you still have in the attic that you haven't told your wife about. At this point, if your dough feels too soft, you can place it on a baking sheet and re-refrigerate it for 15 to 20 minutes to firm up, so this way it doesn't spread when you cut into it. When ready, proceed to cut the dough in half using a serrated knife, leaving about 1 inch of dough uncut at the end. From here, twist the halves together like a friendship bracelet, being extra careful to keep the pretty side facing upward. Squeeze the ends together while twisting and carefully plant into the bread pans. Following similar steps with the additional dough, but when we get to the filling, we're going to add some chopped chocolate. I think I'm going to go with the quinoa crunch. Rolling, cutting, twisting, then tucking into bed to proof. Cover with a damp towel. I'm just reusing the plastic wrap I had earlier, then place this into a cold oven with boiling water for ideal Florida weather inside your oven. Super great temps for proofing. While waiting to bake these, we're going to make a chocolate streusel topping, as if we didn't have enough chocolate already. Into a bowl, add in 1/3 cup 85 grams brown sugar, 1.5 teaspoons cocoa powder, a half cup 65 grams all-purpose flour, half teaspoon kosher salt, fork whisk the dry stuff. I'm actually thinking I want to shave a little bit of chocolate in here too. I'm not really sure how much. I'm just going to go until I feel like it. 3 to 4 teaspoons melted vegan butter. Combined all that together, and somewhere in here I felt like this wasn't looking like how I wanted to, so I started to get my hands in there, squeezing the stuff together, and it looks perfect now. These loaves are proofed and ready to go, but before adding to the oven, we're going to top one with some of that streusel. Now we're going to move to the oven, keeping these on a baking sheet just in case any spillage decides to happen. We're going to make one last thing here, and that's a simple syrup to glaze the top of the loaves. I know it looks a bit like dirty water, but no worries, that's because we're using pure cane sugar. Into the shallow saucepan, we're going to add in 1/4 cup 49 grams cane sugar and 1/4 cup 56 grams water. Stir it around, bring it to a boil to dissolve the sugar, and you are done. With the loaves fresh out the oven and still hot, we're going to brush on our simple syrup. Use all of the syrup, making sure to coat each nook and cranny. I got it this time. Sorry, grandmothers. I know how much you were looking forward to that bingo game. Remove from the bread pan and allow it to cool completely before cutting. It's kind of hard to put in words, but if you could imagine a bathrobe that was designed for your tongue had a baby with a sunset while watching the climax of your favorite TV show. Yeah, it's that type of satisfaction. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my last video if you haven't already. If you have, hit it up again, just cuz. Remember, always believe in good. Peace.